Honey, let's get out of here, huh?
I gotta talk to you, Clara.
Oh, wait out front, honey, huh? I'll be right out. Well...
How about it, Clara?
About what?
You and me, you said we'd get together.
I said I'd think about it. I also said I wouldn't start thinking about it until you showed me you had a little more than lint in that worn-out wallet of yours. That's what I figured. Come on, honey.
Give me a drink.
Have a seat.
I know you.
I'm Brad. This is Steve.
Right.
Now we know each other.
So,
Very busy these days, Fred?
look, you got something to say, say it.
You're a man of action. I like to see that. Shows you get things done.
Come on, kid, what's on your mind?
Can you use some money, a great deal of money?
What I gotta do, kill somebody or something?
You opposed to capital punishment?
You want somebody knocked off?
That's right, Fred. Interested.
How much?
$1,000. 500 now, the rest when it's done.
You got it on you?
You'll do it?
I said I would, didn't I?
How about the man you're going to murder?
Is cross-examination. Not without reason is it called an art. It requires a keen ear, infinite patience, and that indefinable quality which we are obliged to describe as instinct. Yes, instinct. The testimony of every hostile witness has a weak point, but the function of the defense attorney is to find that weak point, zero in on it, probe into it, study it, and attack it from every side. But first of all, we have to find it. Mr. Freiberger.
Yes, sir.
You're the defense attorney for the moot court next week, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Sir,
Mr. Holcomb?
this instinct to detect a witness's weak points, isn't it more of a hindrance than a help with a witness who's telling the truth? The absolute truth.
The absolute truth?
Yes, sir.
Suppose we ask our guest about that.
Absolute truth. There is no such animal. Where human judgment is involved, truth is flexible. Two people may witness the same criminal act, yet take away completely opposite impressions of what they saw. Now, whose truth can we believe?
Then the law is subject to your interpretation. You're free to twist it and pervert it to your own convenience.
What's your point, Mr.
Simply that these tricks of cross-examination do not serve the law. They weaken and corrupt it. I don't believe that one man can be a shade more truthful than another. One of them is lying.
Well, we're right back where we started. Mr. Egan, I think you'll understand Mr. Holcomb's passion when I tell you that he's the prosecutor for the moot court trial next week. I hope the defense won't accuse me of prejudicial conduct, but a little advice, Mr. Holcomb. Leave some room for human error, miscalculation, even faulty vision.
No, sir. Like truth, the law is absolute. It transcends human error.
Well, let's go on. Mr. Holcomb, look at me. Straight ahead. Don't turn your eyes. Right behind you is Mr. Leety, who I believe is a friend of yours. You live together?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Leedy's on trial for his life. You're his only witness. Your testimony can free him or send him to the gas chamber. Now, without turning, what color tie is he wearing? Is it black with red stripes or red with black stripes?
Can't the defense come up with a more original trick? I don't remember the color of Mr. Leedy's tie.
That's because he isn't wearing one. The law is flexible, Mr. Holcomb. It's made by humans for humans. Alexander Pope said it. Curse all laws, but those that love has made.
The right of a man to own a gun. Now, Mr. Santos.
John, one exposure to you is worth a dozen textbooks in courtroom procedure.
You're all they need. You handle that Holcomb kid beautifully. He give you much trouble?
Glad to have him. Every class should have an absolutist or two. Every time he makes that speech on the supremacy of the law, I make one on the supremacy of man. I try to sound as rabid as he does.
Well, Marcus, if I ever need a lawyer, I'll ask for you.
Thank you.
How about dinner tonight?
I'm sorry, I'd like to, but...
Back to the books.
Back to the books.
Soon then.
Right, thanks.
Isn't he pleased with himself? Well, that's the last time he humiliates me.
He's had it in for you all year.
Sure, because I know what he really is. Mr. Kane.
It's the worst mistake this country ever made. Letting his kind walk around loose.
They're all like that, smug, superior. But it's not him I hate what he stands for. He's a symbol of everything that's wrong with our society. Soft, weak, corrupt. Leave some room for human error, Mr. Holcomb. Human error. The law is the law. What gives him the right to pervert it?
You know what gets me? To certain groups, he's a hero.
That's why he's a menace. Those sheep we have for classmates swear by his every word. He's contaminated them, they'll go out and contaminate others. How long do you think it'll be before every trace of established authority disappears? I promise you, you'll see chaos and ruin. Unless the Canes are stopped.
He's got to be stopped. My father says if his kind ever take over, I can kiss my trust fund goodbye.
Trust fund? You'll be shining Mr. Kane's shoes. Scratching and scrounging my way through law school, picking up pennies, tutoring imbeciles who don't know the difference between a tort and a tart. Borrowing from you?
I don't mind.
Look, I mind I shouldn't be. Do you think I was born to poverty? We were a wealthy family. When I was 7 years old, my father gave me a gold and platinum wristwatch. Now it's gone, everything gone. Why? Because my father had a business partner, a big liberal, who took it all away.
Sure, they're liberal. with your money.
That's not what matters. What matters is Mr. Kane, the protector of civil liberties. Have you seen the rabble he's protected? Lefties, streetwalkers, drug addicts, mongrels?
We've got to stop him.
Tonight.
Look who's here, Casanova himself.
Hello, gorgeous.
What's with you?
Guess.
Guess. So you invented a cure for smog, and they're going to make you mayor. Come in.
I can't now, baby. I got an appointment. Hey, this is for you, and it's going to be a lot more.
Yeah? What'd you do? Get your gun out of hot?
Funny girl.
How you going to get more?
Like I told you, I got this appointment. I'm going to see a certain man. And this time tomorrow night, I'm going to show you some real dough, baby.
Oh, Freddie. Oh, you're my boy.
Don't you forget it.
I love you.
Make a wish.
I don't have to. I'm that rare 20th century specimen of completely fulfilled male.
Shouldn't you share your contentment with those less endowed?
Oh, I'd be delighted. How?
Simple. Write a book. How to find fulfillment, fame, and fortune.
With a fascinating female.
In your spare time.
Order now. Your copy will be sent you in a plain, unmarked wrapper.
It's got to be a bestseller. What is it?
I'm afraid I can't write that book tonight. The last chapter's missing.
Marcus.
Suppose I could change the title. How to find partial fulfillment. Martha, I want a life for us, not just Thursday evenings.
Please.
Can't help it. You've made me greedy for life.
That's sweet.
It's not just poetry. It's the truth. Remember when we first met at the museum?
Museum? I thought it was a baseball game.
Oh, all right. When I first saw you, I wanted to talk to you. I followed you around for an hour until I got up the courage to do it. Talk to a stranger, a woman. I simply didn't know how.
Darling, you've forgotten. I talked to you first.
You see? See how I was before I met you? These months with you.
They've saved me.
Then why can't...
Please, let's keep it the way it is.
The way it is, I don't like. I don't like hiding from people, sneaking around.
And I do.
No, of course not. But why can't you tell him? Explain it to him.
Marcus, you don't know him. A man like you couldn't possibly know what my husband is.
If my wife were in love with another man, my pride wouldn't let me keep her.
It is his pride that makes him hold on to me. He's vicious.
Sometimes I wish we'd never met.
Don't say that.
Then I wouldn't want you. I wouldn't need you.
Marcus, you have me.
Fred? Oh, you're right on time.
Yeah.
All set?
What about the other 500?
Tomorrow night at the bar.
What's the matter with right after I do it?
Oh, we won't be here. After all, you don't want witnesses.
Oh, yeah. And you better show up.
Fred, don't you trust us?
Yeah, I trust you. You sure you'll be here tonight?
He's always here. Exercise to compensate for his sedentary life.
Huh?
He'll be here.
Oh. I've been meaning to ask you. Why do you want the professor knocked off? Keep you after school or something?
No. We're doing it for you, Fred. Our own little way of stimulating employment.
Good night, darling. See you next week.
Good night.
Got a match?
Yeah.
Thanks, Professor.
Are you Martha's husband?
Anything?
Not yet. They're checking on the fingerprints now. Looks pretty simple, though.
Enlighten me.
You know what your trouble is? You've forgotten those long days and nights down on Main Street.
That's right, I want to forget them.
I've seen him before.
You know him?
I know his type. He's a drifter. Gets his booze money any way he can. That's how he lives. So this happens.
How'd this happen?
I don't know. Maybe he had a partner. They hit a store. They fought over the loot. He lost.
Found this in his hand, Sergeant. Looks like about 14 carats to me.
Thanks, Larry. Well, well, well. It is gold. Some grocery store.
All right, it was a jewelry store.
A neighborhood jewelry store?
Well, maybe they mugged somebody. Then they fought over the loot, and he was left holding the chain.
And you're left holding a bag. Why'd they dump the body this far from town?
I don't know, maybe they have an anti-litter campaign going on someplace. Look, why don't we take a drive down to Main Street? We'll visit a few flop houses, and I guarantee you within a half hour we'll know everything about him from his name to the last time he had a bat.
That's a good idea, Dan. You do that. I want to see what the coroner comes up with.
Relax. I'll have this whole thing solved by the time you get to the office.
You're a comfort in my declining years. Doc.
Hiya, Nick. It's a beauty.
Cause of death?
Heart stopped beating.
You need a new joke.
Yeah, well, got hit on the top of the head. Look at the blood. Varicose veins.
What's that? Almost $400.
What's a guy like this doing with $400?
Hey, fellas, wait for me. Freiberger, wait till next week. I'll rip you and your defendants to shreds.
I'm sure you'll try. You know, I talked to a friend of mine about you. He's in the psych department. He says you suffer from a prosecution complex.
I wish I'd said that. In fact, I think I did last year. Relax, Freiberger. No matter how I demolish you, you'll win. You share our mentor's peculiar philosophy of the law.
Got your alibis all set. Well,
Forgive me, I'm being paged. Look, Brad, I'd settle down. Unless you want to make a public announcement out of it. I'm upset. I just paid to have my professor killed.
I'm sorry, but I just heard the 11 o'clock news.
They found it.
No, they haven't.
Nothing about it?
No, Brad. Well, there was something about a body discovered in Shore Ridge Canyon, but nothing about Kane.
Well, it's early. Let it warm up a bit, and then the sweet little mothers will wheel their drooling progeny to the...
Brad, he's alive.
You're brilliant, Stephen. What powers of observation.
Well, let's get on.
You stay right there. We haven't done anything. Nothing's happened.
Do you think Kodiak ran off with the money?
Why'd he show up last night?
Then what happened?
We'll find that out at the proper moment. Meanwhile, stay cool. Let's go to class.
I wouldn't ask you if it weren't important.
All right, 4 o'clock at your apartment.
No, not at my apartment. Meet me on the hill.
Like this? You say a few words and it's over? Last night, a dozen hours ago, you told me that you loved me, that you wanted to be with me always.
Sometimes things happen.
Overnight? Did something happen? Or is this your way of forcing me to leave my husband?
It's simply this. There's no future for us.
No future? Have you forgotten next Thursday? And the Thursday after that, and the one after that?
That's not what we were Thursdays. I didn't mean that. Look, it's the whole thing with us. It's futile.
No.
We can't ever see each other again.
Oh, don't, please. I love you. I need you.
It's over. It's got to be as if we never met. We don't know each other.
How nice of you to welcome me.
You have returned.
Yes, with good news. Lieutenant, that body at Shore Ridge Canyon belongs to...
Fred Kordiak.
Fred Kordiak.
That's right, we found out the easy way. Fingerprints. What else is new on Main Street?
Well, I guess you know about his record, too.
That's right, assault, armed robbery.
And I guess that's part of the bundle he's been flashing around.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. Someday you're going to make a good detective.
Yeah. So where are we now?
Well, we have a chain and a couple of questions. Whose is it? And where was Kordiak killed?
You find the answer to one, you get the other. Someday I'm going to make a good detective.
You know, I talked to his ex-wife. I guess you know about her, too.
Clara.
Yeah. She was with him last night. She said that he told her he had to meet somebody at, maybe Glendon and Fairview.
What's that?
I found it in his apartment. Now, Glendon and Fairview is near the university, right?
Yeah, what would a guy like Kordiak be doing around there?
I don't know.
So let's go. Come on, Danny boy, you've been cooped up here all day. Go stale.
Here it is. The body of a murder victim found this morning in Shore Ridge Canyon has been identified as Fred Kordiak, 35, ex-convict.
Kordiak.
Police suspect gangland slayings. Listen to this. In his hand was clutched a keychain which apparently had been broken loose in the struggle with his assailant.
Kane. Kane must have killed him.
Yes. Those nightly constitutionals must have done wonders for him.
And he's made fools of us again.
It's too early for a verdict yet, Stephen. Poor sad Fred failed us. But the law, our law, is yet to be heard from.
What'd she say again, the ex-wife?
He told her he had an appointment with somebody. No name.
When he saw it tonight, he'd be Diamond Jim. Nice, respectable real estate, university people, solid citizens. What was Kordiak doing here?
Robbery?
He already had the money. He met the man, they argued, they fought. Could it have been here?
Maybe in one of those apartments.
Maybe in there.
Yes, John.
Sorry I'm so late calling. Been in court all day.
John, I've got to see you as soon as possible.
Something wrong?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
I'll be out of here in an hour. Can you meet me at Shakespeare's?
Anywhere.
You sound urgent. Who's in trouble now?
I'll tell you all about it.
See you about 6.
Thanks.
Not dressed for this kind of work.
A little while you can get into your after dark ensemble. In the meantime, you look over there. Sorry, Marcus. Took a little longer than I expected. Steady, man. Can't be as bad as all that.
Sorry, I didn't see you come in, John. The usual?
Give me a bit of the unusual. Marcus, I've got to call the office. Then we'll talk, all right? Okay. Could I see your paper? Well, it won't calm you down the way you think. Let's get a table.
Forgive me, John. I'm not feeling very well.
What's the matter?
I'll call you tomorrow.
Mark,
I'll be all right. I'll see you.
That's it. Put up your hand.
We've got him.
Let's observe a minute of silence in honor of Fred Cordiak, unknown, unknowing soldier in the battle to save our soul. Requiescat in pace.
It's a far, far better thing that he did than he ever had done.
A fool, idiot. He's like something out of a Charlie Chan movie. He returned to the scene of the crime, walked right into their welcoming arms.
He went back to the park?
You'll never guess the reason why, to find his 5/8 key. Evidently, they'd had an epic struggle. Cordiak must have torn it loose. You know what Kane's done? He's made Phi Beta Kappa a household phrase, another victory for anti-intellectualism.
Hey, can't you just see Kane on trial? Isn't that going to be a sweet sight?
Forgetting what the professor taught you? Preliminary hearing first.
Unless he pleads guilty.
John Egan's his attorney. Remember the guest expert we had the other day? He says self-defense.
Well, that figures. So what?
He tried to conceal the crime, resisted arrest. That won't help him. Still.
Well, what could happen? I mean, he killed Cordiak.
Yes, but why? Why did he kill him? There had to be a reason.
You mean he had to be hiding something else besides the body?
Yes, but what?
Jerry, you've got a very brilliant legal mind. You represent the people very well, but please tell me, where is the motive? Now, why would Kane kill this man except in self-defense? If there's any one person totally dedicated to peace, you know Marcus. He detests violence.
I know Marcus. And I also know that anyone can kill. I don't care how much we detest violence, we're human. And as long as we're capable of hate, fear, envy, well, my friend, I'm afraid we're also capable of murder.
Kane never even saw Cordiak before.
So he says.
Jerry, what possible connection could there be between Marcus Kane, one of our greatest law scholars, and Fred Kodiak, who's little more than a Main Street derelict?
I don't know. But I do know, however, that Marcus Kane hasn't behaved much like one of our great law scholars. Hiding the body, running from the police. And don't tell me he panicked.
He panicked. And until you come up with a better reason, my friend, you charge him so the judge can set bail.
Well, John, maybe bail won't be possible in this case.
Oh, you gotta be kidding, Jerry. This was a mugging, not first-degree murder.
That's not the way I see it.
You don't want me to laugh you out of court, do you? The motive, pal. Where is the motive?
John, how well do you know Marcus Kane?
What's that supposed to mean?
Friends a long time?
Well, not close friends. He kept to himself pretty much. But over the years, we saw each other quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Did he ever tell you about this? No, that's something, isn't it?
What a thing to live with, his own brother.
Killed him.
It's funny, a thing like this happening to a man like... What did you say?
I said he killed him.
Jerry, this happened over 30 years ago. It was an accident.
So the report says, but you're the courtroom psychologist. Isn't there a theory that nothing is accidental?
Is that why you dug this up?
I didn't dig it up.
Once a killer, always a killer?
Fair enough, Files. I'm as surprised as you are.
Well, you don't expect to use it, do you? It's not admissible.
Oh, simmer down now. Simmer down. Pete's sake. I won't release it.
Well, then what's the point?
The point is, like I said before, anyone can kill.
And anyone can have an accident, and you still haven't got a motive.
Yes.
Someone is calling about the Kodiak case. He won't give his name.
All right, I'll talk to him. Pick up line 2. Hello?
Is this Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Kodiak was blackmailing Kane. That's why Kane killed him.
Who is this?
A servant of the law.
And there's your motive.
A servant of the law. Brad, you're too much.
What are you laughing at? I am a servant of the law.
I'm sorry. I know you are. That's a terrific idea, Brad. Blackmail. You know, Kodiak would blackmail someone.
Good old Fred, serving the cause even unto death.
Well, the only thing is, what would he blackmail Kane for?
Find something. That's a sweet thing about Homo sapiens. Every one of us, especially the holy ones like Cain, we all have a secret sin.
I wonder what his is.
Mother was probably an Airedale. Father could have plucked chickens for Castro. No, our shy bachelor professor had a girlfriend. Only she was married to Mao Zedong.
It isn't true?
I swear I never saw him before. How could he be blackmailing me?
Oh, maybe it was a crank call or a helping hand from one of the people who hasn't agreed with you over the years, but nevertheless, Jerry Miller is asking for a first-degree indictment.
I can't believe it. He won't get away with it. There's no evidence.
No evidence? Where did Kodiak suddenly get $500? Why did you hide his body?
I told you, I panicked.
Is there anything you could be blackmailed for?
To pay blackmail, you aid and abet a crime.
Well, you're human. Now, what about your brother? I've known you a long time, and you never mentioned it.
There's some things you don't talk about. Whatever I didn't try and conceal it. John, I wouldn't submit to blackmail.
Well, I'm sorry, but I had to bring it up.
It's all right. I've been thinking a lot about it myself lately.
And you've got other things to think about now. And I've got other things to do.
John, did you call with Dean?
Marcus, you continue to amaze me. In the middle of all this trouble, you're worrying about your classes.
Well, I just wanted to be sure.
Yes, I talked to the dean. A young instructor named Manzo is taking over for you. I talked to Manzo, and he'd be very happy to have me preside at your moot court. Okay?
Thanks.
Get well. But, not too well. I've bought you a flashy cane to wear at the hearing. Marcus, what you did after the killing was stupid. Did you panic? Or was there another reason?
No other reason.
0.
Look under the bed?
Of course not. I have some scruples.
Better not tell Handley you'll find yourself back on Main Street.
For Marcus, with all my love, Martha.
What's that? Well, she's worth a little blackmail.
Well, let's find her and ask her. J. Rubel, photographer. Ask Mr. Rubel if he knows where Martha lives. If he says in Marble Halls, arrest him.
I go see J. Rubel. What do you do?
I rest. Creative detection saps one's strength. Someday you'll find out what I mean.
Yeah.
My client is innocent of the crime as charged, and to judge him otherwise would be nothing less than a miscarriage of justice, a mockery of the law we hold so sacred.
Thank you, Mr. Freiberger. Is the prosecution ready for summation?
Yes.
Proceed, please.
Whosoever shall take willfully another person's life shall be punished by death. This ancient statute is as applicable today as when man first used it as a guide rule for justice. Mr. Freiberg has been very eloquent. He has gone to his knees singing Mammy, begging us to see the so-called human elements of the case. Rot. There is but one thing to see. That is the evidence. And the evidence clearly reveals the defendant took a life. Now, he must pay with his own. The law demands retribution. Human factors are irrelevant. Retribution. And without it, the laws, justice, the commandments are all meaningless, subject to whim, passing fancy, and eventually anarchy. Retribution. Reject the death penalty and you condone murder. Condemn the defendant to death and you proclaim the majesty of the law.
Thank you, Mr. Holcomb. Gentlemen, if I render my verdict now, I hope you don't get the wrong idea. Juries usually deliberate a little longer. Fortunately, I took an instant justice pill this morning. Let me say, this has been a very interesting case. Both sides presented their arguments very well. Now, will the defendant please rise? It is the function, the duty of the court, not only to punish the wrongdoer, to further prevent him from injuring society, but also, when the possibility seems to exist, to rehabilitate him. Ancient statutes created out of fear and superstition don't always serve the law today. We're no longer sun worshippers. We now understand that the human mind which triggers an act of violence is far more complex than our judicial forebears conceived. In the best of us, unconscious pressures can lie dormant for years, then suddenly, without warning, explode, burst forth with brute violence. The result? Endless, vehement tragedy. I believe such was the essence of this case. Therefore, I find the defendant guilty of manslaughter. No prison term will be imposed. However, I direct that he be placed on indefinite probation under the supervision of a court-approved psychiatrist. Court's adjourned. Adjourned. And gentlemen, I must say this has been a most instructive session. I'm sure Professor Kane will be very pleased.
I was wondering, sir, in light of the judgment you've just passed, were you planning on using a similar argument in defense of Mr. Kane?
The ethics of the law, Mr. Holcomb. Communication between a lawyer and his client is privileged. We don't talk about it in public.
Well, I just wanted you to say to him, and I'm sure I'm speaking for the whole class, that we're all behind him.
I'll tell him, but I'm sure he already knows. Gentlemen, I'm not used to classroom protocol, so all I can say is, you're free.
Class dismissed. Mr. Egan, thank you very much. It was a privilege to see you in action.
I'm afraid I don't make much of a judge. All that sitting.
Tell me, how is it with Mr. Kane?
Fine. I hope you don't take this personally, but I hope you're out of a job soon.
Nothing I'd like more. Oh, this is Mr. Kane's last few days' mail.
I'll drop it off right away.
When you start opening other people's mail.
Sue me. Who's Martha Phipps? It's quite a passionate letter. You play brownie to her Barrett?
Just a girl?
Just a girl. It's funny, Marcus, I never thought of you as a Don Juan.
I know how difficult this is for you. I wish I could be more helpful.
They could start being helpful by telling me about Martha Phipps.
She's not important.
You sure? It doesn't matter how you've treated me. I'll always love you. Not important?
I'm sorry. She hasn't anything to do with this.
All right, Marcus. I gotta get to work.
Come in. Got a visitor, Mr. Kane.
Hello, Mr. Kane.
Mr. Holcomb. Come in.
Thank you, sir.
Well, sit down, won't you?
Thanks. I'd prefer standing. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm getting along very well, thanks.
I'm glad to hear that. I hope you don't mind me dropping by. Mr. Egan thought you might like to know the results of the moot court.
I meant to ask him about that.
Mr. Egan found the defendant guilty of manslaughter.
Well, as I recall the case, that sounds like a fair verdict to me.
Yes, I imagined you'd approve of that. I think you'd like the penalty he imposed, too. Probation with a psychiatrist for warden.
You don't approve.
Possibly I'm prejudiced. See, I was the prosecutor.
You won your guilty verdict.
Yes. Unfortunately, Mr. Egan couldn't ignore the evidence altogether, so he did the next best thing.
Didn't the sentence fit the crime?
Pay for murder with a few short sessions on a witch doctor's couch? Come now, Mr. Kane. Of course, that would seem like a fair penalty to you, though, wouldn't it?
Mr.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that what the law means to you? Turn the other cheek? Muddle the misunderstood mongrels, let them murder again. Have pity on the poor killer. Daddy left him. Mama rejected him. He couldn't relate. Kids made fun of his weak chin. And saddest of all, he was just one of the poor, huddled masses. What's your problem, Professor? Your papa run away from home? Maybe you stammered when you were a baby. Or were you just one of the poor, huddled masses? You know what they turn into. Is it any wonder they become killers? What with all that huddling? Forgive them. Love them. Send them to a shrinker.
Mr. Holcomb, you're a brilliant student, but you have no conception of what the law is.
You're referring to that tripe about the law being flexible? The law leaves room for human error, Mr. Holcomb.
It does, Mr. Holcomb.
Really, Mr. Kane? Did the law leave room for your human error?
If I'm here, it's my doing, not the law's.
But naturally, you'd like the law to remember you're just one of those huddled masses, right? Think it will? I don't. No, sir, Mr. Kane, I don't. Too late for a shrinker to save you now. Bye, Mr. Kane. I'll see you in court.
One of your students, Mr. Kane?
nice he could come up and see you.
Yes.
Martha Phipps?
Yes.
I'm John Egan, Marcus Kane's attorney.
Please, I can't talk to you.
But all I want is a few minutes.
There isn't anything to tell. All right, come in.
You're married, aren't you?
Yes.
Mrs. Phipps, were you with Marcus Kane last Thursday night?
Yes.
Will you so testify in court?
No, I can't.
You mean you'll let Marcus die?
No.
Did your husband know about you and Marcus?
No. No. Please go.
Now look, Mrs. Phipps, your secret's out. I found out about you, so will the police. And so will your husband, sooner or later.
I can't. I can't testify.
Do you realize a man's life is at...
He can't speak. He's paralyzed.
Your husband?
Yes. My vicious, sadistic husband.
Why didn't she tell me? I would have understood.
Why didn't you tell me?
I couldn't. She told me he was a
Oh,
maniac.
I've heard that before.
Wouldn't let her go out. Used to beat her. I was with her that night. I'd just taken her to the car.
That's why you hit Cordiac's body? Why you ran from the police?
I thought Cordiac was her husband. Later, of course, when I got a good look at him, I realized that he couldn't be. I was sure, though, that her husband had sent him to kill me.
You told me she was just a girl. Oh, boy.
I didn't want to get her involved.
Well, she is involved, my friend. Cordiac was blackmailing you. Why? He knew about you and Martha. He threatened to expose you unless you paid him. You gave him $500. He came back for more, and you killed him.
That's not true.
Well, tell it to Jerry Miller.
Leave her alone, please, John.
Marcus, you're a fraud. What did you tell your class the other day? All about the humanity of the law. Well, ever since this mess started, you've flouted the law, my friend. You've ignored the law. You've denied it. You've told the whole world, don't trust the law, it's your enemy.
That's not true.
You're just scared. Scared. You've always been scared, Marcus. You agitate about civil liberties, you stir us all up, and then what do? You crawl back to your classroom where it's safe and snug, and you spout some more noble sentiments about man's justice. What was it you said the other day? Curse on all the laws except those which love has made. You phony.
John, I don't want you to call Martha as a witness.
Don't worry about that. The prosecution's already called her. She's testifying against you, old buddy.
Mrs. Phipps, did anyone know about you and Mr. Kane?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well, maybe someone may have known.
Well, we were very careful.
Why were you so careful, Mrs. Phipps? Because public knowledge of your relationship would sully Mr. Kane's reputation? Possibly destroy his career? Secrecy was so necessary, wasn't it? Because there was so much at stake. The defendant had to protect his good name. He'd do anything to protect his good name. Go to any lengths. Even pay blackmail. Even commit murder.
Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Mrs. Phipps.
Mr. Egan, do you plan to cross-examine the witness?
Your Honor,
Well, since it's almost the noon hour, let's postpone it until after lunch.
Court's recessed until 2 o'clock.
John, I don't want you to cross-examine Martha. She's already been humiliated. I want her left alone. Besides, there wouldn't be any point anyway. She suffered enough.
tell me how you killed your brother.
Whole story. You read about it every day. My father had a gun. We were alone in the house. I was showing off. I was showing my brother. I was as much of a man as he was. Showing him how well I could handle a gun. And suddenly, I killed him. Everybody was very kind. There was an investigation. They said it wasn't my fault. It was an accident.
You've always wondered about it, haven't you? Was it really an accident? Did an accident happen, or
did I make it happen? Did I want him dead because he teased me? Because he was perhaps more of a man than I was?
And for 30 years you've been punishing yourself. For 30 years you've been hiding. You've never forgiven yourself. Afraid. That's why the cloistered life. That's why you let other people take credit for what you do. That's why you're Cain, the quiet man. Afraid. And isn't that why you got involved with Martha Phipps? Married, you knew she couldn't leave her husband. You knew a permanent relationship was impossible. You never really wanted an intimate relationship with anyone. Afraid of that, too.
No. Martha and me. That was genuine.
How would you know? You're so guilt-ridden. Marcus, do you feel guilty about Cordiac's death?
I don't know.
But you told me the truth? You didn't know him? No blackmail?
That was all true.
You were defending yourself, man.
Perhaps I could have gotten away without hitting him.
You'll be judged by your peers. They'll decide if you're guilty, not you. And don't make the state a partner in this plot of yours.
Plot?
Yeah. The plot to execute yourself for your brother's death. It's time, Professor. Time to get with it. With life, man. With the law. Let's go. Mrs. Phipps, did you and my client ever discuss the possibility of marriage?
Yes. He asked me to leave my husband to get a divorce.
So he could marry you, but you refused. Why?
I just couldn't.
Weren't you in love with Marcus Cain? Weren't you unhappy with your husband?
Yes.
Well, why then? Why did you refuse to leave him? Mrs. Phipps, I want you to tell the court about your husband.
No. No, please.
Well, I'm sorry. Marcus Cain's life may well depend on what you say. Your husband was in a...
cripple. Helpless, paralyzed. Is that what you wanted to hear?
A cripple. Paralyzed. Helpless. A man who needs you merely to exist. Was Mr. Cain aware of your husband's condition?
No. No, I didn't tell him the reason I couldn't leave my husband.
Well, what reason did you give him?
I told him I was afraid of my husband. That if he found out I was in love with another man, he might do something.
Do something? Do you mean harm you physically?
Yes. I told Marcus, Mr. Cain, that my husband was cruel, sadistic, I told him that he beat me. I told him... Oh, lies. I lied.
And on the night of the killing, didn't you repeat those fears to Mr. Kane, and did he not express concern for your safety?
Yes. Yes, he told me that he was afraid my husband had followed me to his apartment.
So then, when Mr. Kane went into the park a few minutes after leaving you, he might still have been thinking about your husband and his violent ways. And when a stranger accosted him, attacked him, he fought back. To save his life, he struck down his assailant. Not a mugger, not a blackmailer, but a man he thought was your husband. The sadistic husband who existed only in my client's mind. And as you have admitted, Mrs. Phipps, in your lies. Okay, Marcus, I think we made progress. Now, the one thing that bothers me is where Cordiak got that money.
John, I'm not sure I mentioned this. Cordiak knew who I was.
Yeah, that's right. He called you professor. Marcus, this was no mugging. He was there to kill you. Now, who hired him?
Who? Who could hate that much?
Well, you've sponsored your share of unpopular causes.
You more murder somebody just because you disagree with them.
No. But if you hate him, there's lots of hate in the world. We try to ignore it, but the hate spreads. And the haters think we're with them.
Yeah, the rabid ones. The extreme on the left and the right. Funny how they hate each other. Funny how much they're alike.
Marcus, the other day in your moot court, I saw hate, the real thing. Cold, contemptuous, pitiless. Tell me about your student prosecutor.
Holcomb.
Holcomb.
I have to admit, I was very surprised, pleasantly. I've never been here before. Thanks for asking.
I've got an ulterior motive, Mr. Holcomb.
Oh?
I need your help.
My help? What can I do?
I want to call you as a witness at the trial. A character witness.
For Mr. Kane? Me?
Why not? Anyone know him as well as the students?
What about the dean, Prexy? Those eminent political pals of his. Don't tell me they've let him down in this hour of need.
No, I've got nothing but a trunk full of affidavits. Nothing but the highest praise for him. That's not what I want.
You want something more personal?
Good thinking. I want the court to hear from someone who sees Kane every day of the week. Someone who knows him, knows what he is, knows what he believes in.
You think I'm your man? Well, his views and mine are somewhat at odds.
That's why you're just my man. Now, what more credible witness than someone diametrically opposed to everything Kane values? Who knows a man better than his opponent?
That's just it, Mr. Egan. I am his opponent. Now, why should I want to help him?
Because you can. And because he's innocent.
You really think so? You did a beautiful job of pulverizing Mrs. Phipps. You still haven't explained where Cordiak got the money.
Right. But the burden of proof still lies with the prosecution. They haven't proven that Kane ever saw Cordiak before. Brush up on your homework, Mr. Holcomb. You know, you're an unusual young man. You've got convictions and you live by them. I admire that.
Thank you, Mr. Egan. There's another reason why I can't testify for Mr. Kane. But I'm afraid I can't explain that till later.
Mr. Miller, are you ready for summation? Your Honor, people have received new evidence. I'd like permission to call another witness.
Very well.
The people call Bradford Holcomb. Mr. Holcomb, you're one of the defendant's law students, are you not?
Yes, sir, I was until this happened.
I see. Then you saw him quite regularly.
Yes, sir.
On the campus?
Well, not just on the campus. I have an apartment here where Mr. Kane lives. I used to see him in the neighborhood, occasionally in the grocery store.
I see. Now, Mr. Holcomb, have you ever seen the defendant anywhere else? Any place that you might not expect to find a man like Mr. Kane?
Yes, sir, I have. Several weeks ago, my roommate Stephen Leedy and myself, it was right after exams. Well, frankly, we were pooped. We wanted to get out, relax, have a drink. We decided to go downtown, someplace different. We went to a bar on Main Street, the Silver Lode.
The Silver Lode. Isn't that the name of the bar which the deceased Fred Cordiak used to frequent?
According to the testimony of one of the other witnesses, yes, sir, it was.
All right. You and your roommate went into the Silver Lode bar.
That's where we saw Mr. Kane with Fred Cordiak.
He's lying. He's a beaut, that boy.
You say that you saw the defendant and the deceased in the Silver Lode bar.
They were seated together in a booth.
I have just one more question, Mr. Holcomb. Evidently, you've known for some time that the deceased and the defendant were, to say the very least, acquaintances. Why have you waited until now to come forward with this information?
I just couldn't believe Mr. Kane would ever do such a thing, and I didn't want to jeopardize him.
And what changed your mind?
I thought about what Mr. Kane had taught us, that the law is ours, for us. We have to protect it, to serve it. It was my duty to step forward, no matter how much I might hurt Mr. Kane.
Thank you, Mr. Holcomb.
Mr. Holcomb, you say you couldn't believe that Mr. Kane would do such a thing? You mean, murder?
Yes, sir, but actually,
Well, actually what? Go ahead.
In my opinion, all of us are capable of murder.
All of us? You believe that?
Yes, sir, if motivated. The act of murder requires a reason. The reason doesn't necessarily have to be valid, just so long as it justifies the act.
And the murder is mine.
That's right.
How about you, Mr. Holcomb? Could you commit a crime?
Definitely.
Murder?
Never really entered my mind.
Let it then. Could you commit a murder?
I suppose so. Naturally, I'd have to have a very strong motive.
A reason not necessarily valid. What sort of reason would you need, Mr. Holcomb, to murder?
If I were afraid of someone or I hated him.
Supposing, Mr. Kane gave you a failing grade, would you hate him? I mean, enough to murder?
Certainly not.
Motive's not strong enough, is it? But how about a man you considered to be your enemy? A man who was opposed to everything you believed in. A man who, a man who threatened your entire way of life. Would he generate sufficient hatred in you to provide a motive for murder?
Yes. An enemy. We kill our enemies, but we don't call it murder. It's war.
We kill our enemies. Your Honor, I'd like a moment to confer with my client.
Very well.
All right, Marcus, I'm handing you the ball.
What?
I want you to take him. Take him the rest of the way.
Yes, but...
Don't you see what I'm trying to do?
No, but John, I'm not a trial lawyer.
No, moving to the back of the bus now, pal. It's time to mix with the troops.
Oh, I know, but...
You heard him. He's the enemy. You've got to get up close to hit him.
All right.
Your Honor, Mr. Kane will continue the cross-examination.
All right, Mr. Egan.
Mr. Holcomb, you're
my law students, aren't you?
Yes, sir, I have been for 2 years.
Then we've known each other for nearly 2 years.
I've been your student for nearly 2 years.
And during this time, haven't you expressed some rather unusual and positive beliefs about not only the law, but the entire political and economic structure of our country?
Not so unusual, Mr. Kane. There are many people who share my beliefs.
But I'm not one of them. I don't share your convictions. I've fought against them as vigorously as you've upheld them. Isn't that so? Haven't we argued about them time and time again?
Yes, but that has not...
Don't you have the courage of your convictions, Mr. Holcomb?
Don't you worry about my courage or my convictions.
Then say it. I'm your enemy.
Yes. You're my enemy. You're the enemy of any man who...
These convictions of yours, can't you be a bit more specific about them?
Aren't you afraid I'll convert the court?
I'll trust to the court's good sense. Besides, as an evangelist for your peculiar faith, Mr. Holcomb, aren't you pretty much of a flop?
I'm a flop? I'm not going to the gas chamber.
Mr. Holcomb, that is the last such remark I want to hear from you. Mr. Egan, I must say I expected an objection from you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was completely fascinated.
The witness may answer the question.
The question?
Your convictions, Mr. Holcomb. Please.
Oh, yes. Well, very simple, really. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to tell the court what you really are, Mr. Kane. You're a corrupter. Year in and year out, you've infected your students with a disease more deadly than the bomb. You've taught them contempt for our heritage. You've warped their thinking with your new ideas. You've destroyed them as individuals. Oh, Mr. Kane, isn't that your plan to rob us of our initiative, our native ability to act independently, to live and to die by our own strength, to weaken us so that the parasites of the world may feed off of us? Your kind, Mr. Kansky.
I beg your pardon?
Now, you heard me. I know all about you. Your name's not Kane. You're not even an American.
I'm afraid you're mistaken. It's true I wasn't born here.
I know. When you were 21, you signed some papers and took an oath, and that made you an American. You were naturalized, but you were never pasteurized. You're still unclean, Mr. Kansky.
Just for the record, in Poland when I was 6 years old, my name was Kanowski, not Kansky. Doesn't make much difference, though, does it?
No, it doesn't, because you're here, but we're taking care of that.
Mr. Holcomb! I used to consider you a pretty gifted student, even on occasion, an original thinker. But I was wrong. You're a fraud. You have no convictions. They're just there to cover up whatever it is that's really driving you. You're a bigot.
No!
Plain and simple.
You shut up! Shut up!
Hate!
Hey!
All the rest is lies.
Hey!
You can't hide it behind a phony.
Oh, why shouldn't I? Phony, you phony!
Kanowski! You can't make hate respectable, no matter how
Why
hard you
shouldn't
try.
I hate you?
You hate me because I'm superior to you.
Superior?
Isn't that so?
Oh, now who's on trial and who isn't, huh? And how did you get there? Who put you there?
You did. Just as you paid Cordiak $500 to kill me.
Liar!
Where'd you get the money? From your friend, Mr. Leedy? Am I supposed to be his enemy, too? Is that the reason he's willing to testify that I was with Cordiak? Mr. Leedy, have you looked at your bank book lately? Any large withdrawals? Stand up and be counted, Mr. Leedy!
Brad, shut up, it's a trick. Shut up! No!
Bailiff, arrest that man!